We are a part of this universe. We are in this universe. But perhaps more important than both of those facts is that the universe is in us. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
What is the universe? The universe is us, and we are the universe. Everything you see here, from that tree to that leaf, to even you, viewer, is a part of the universe, and we are all made of it. Now the question is, how did the universe begin, and how will it end? Well, that is why I'm here to share with you the inflation and deflation theory. I am Dr. Awesome, PhD in awesomeness, and I am here to share with you the secrets of the universe.
Now, before we begin to talk about the beginning and end of the universe, let's first start with a little background. The universe is approximately 13.798 billion years old. It all started as an initial singularity. Now, an initial singularity, according to book definition, is a point in space and time that is infinitely dense and infinitely tiny. But by layman terms, it is basically a really small place, and in our case, contain the entire mass and space-time of the entire universe. Now, what is space-time, you ask? Space-time is simply a combination of height, width, depth, plus time as a fourth dimension, all interwoven together. Now, the initial singularity in our case, the universe, began to expand rapidly. And as it expanded, it grew much colder, hundreds and thousands of degrees colder in 1 second. And as the temperature decreased, particle energy began to increase, and the speed also began to decrease. Now, in the beginning, there were theorized to be a lot of foam or bubbles that represented smaller universes. It is theorized that the universe began as a foam of sort, or as one could say, bubbles. Some say that these bubbles all burst out at once, and only one here began as the universe. Now that little bubble universe began to expand and expand a lot in what many would call the Big Bang, or the Big Inflation. Now, as the inflation was occurring, little folds and irregularities and anomalies in that initial singularity, that initial bubble, would begin to clump together as everything began to cool down and form the nuclei of atoms that we know of, simple atoms such as hydrogen and helium. And these nuclei would form with other electrons to form whole atoms. And even larger anomalies and irregularities would form into large bodies such as galaxies. And within these galaxies would form planets, trees, apples, and even Bill Nye the Science Guy. This is our universe currently. It is quite large, but it is still continuously expanding. And as expansion occurs, temperature will lower, particle energy will lower, and the speed of the particles will also continue to lower. But as time goes on, the universe will begin to expand. With that expansion will come darkness, as the stars begin to come apart, as well as galaxies. Now let us start with a little experiment to further illuminate this for you. The universe is very much like a balloon. Even though it is quite a large balloon, it will continue to expand. Note the stars and galaxies that are all over the universe. But they will continue to come farther apart. Now the universe will continue to expand and expand, getting darker and darker as stars and galaxies move farther apart. And as the universe continues to expand, it will also begin to cool, otherwise known as a term, supercool. Supercooled is a state where matter does not change phases even though it is past the optimal temperature to do so. Because it is cooled so carefully and so slowly, it remains in its same phase, but will become so unbelievably cold. The universe will continue to expand and cool. And as it nears its end, all the forces of the universe, electromagnetism, strong force, gravity, and weak force, will begin to deconstruct. They will become simpler, and in a way that any of us will have never seen before. And as this happens, they will begin to collapse. But what will happen in the end? Now, in the end of the universe, it will suddenly grow very, very bright and very, very hot as all the forces of the universe continue to collapse, as well as stars, galaxies, everything. And it will also begin to rapidly condense. Much like this balloon here. And the cycle will begin again, according to some theories. But other theories suggest a different reality for the end of our universe, time, and everything that we know to be true. Other theories suggest that the universe will continue to expand and darken, growing vacuous as vacuous space takes over what we know to be stars and galaxies, as stars and galaxies die off or become very far apart from each other due to the pull of gravity. And as space expands, it will also become supercooled. But what do you think will be the end of our universe? Thank you.